Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, life just keeps pushing you down, again and again, until you start believing maybe you're not meant to rise? Arjun knew that feeling too well. Just a few months ago, he was living what many would call a perfect life. A stable job in a growing company, proud parents, dreams of starting his own business, everything was on track. But sometimes, life doesn't warn you before it changes everything. It started with a single phone call. His company was shutting down. In one moment, his years of effort were erased. Days later, his father fell seriously ill. Hospital bills drained every bit of his savings. And in the chaos, Arjun's confidence, the one thing he thought he'd never lose, began to fade. Every morning, he dressed up, pretending he had interviews lined up. But instead, he'd walk aimlessly through the streets, staring at people rushing to work, wondering where he went wrong. He sent out dozens of job applications, and every rejection hit like a punch to the chest. Some nights, he sat by his window, staring at the sky, whispering, "Why me?" He had no answers, only silence. Then one rainy evening, soaked to the bone, Arjun sat on a cold bench at a deserted bus stop. An old man beside him noticed his tearful eyes and said gently, "When everything is against you, son, maybe life isn't ending, maybe it's just testing if you're ready to begin again." Those words didn't fix his pain, but they awakened something inside him. For the first time in months, Arjun didn't feel broken. He felt challenged. That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. The old man's words echoed in his mind, "Maybe life isn't ending, maybe it's just testing you." The next morning, he looked at himself in the mirror, tired eyes, messy hair, face pale with defeat. But behind those weary eyes, a tiny spark had returned. He whispered to himself, "If life is testing me, then I'll fight back." Arjun had no money, no job, and no clear plan. But he had something far greater, a decision to not give up. He borrowed his friend's old laptop and began learning digital marketing from free YouTube tutorials. Day turned into night as he watched video after video, pausing, rewinding, taking notes, and practicing what he learned. At first, everything went wrong. His first online project failed miserably. His second attempt got rejected. His family thought he was wasting time. His friends laughed behind his back, saying, "He's dreaming too big." But Arjun didn't stop. Every failure became his teacher. Every rejection added fuel to his fire. He started offering his services to small local shops, sometimes for free, just to learn and build experience. Weeks passed. Slowly, things began to shift. A local cafe saw results from his marketing and recommended him to another business. One client turned into 2, then 5. And then one day, he received an email from an overseas company offering him his first big project. That night, tears rolled down his face, not of sadness, but of gratitude. Life had tried to break him, but he had chosen to rise. He realized that the world doesn't move for those who quit, it moves for those who refuse to give up. Months later, Arjun returned to the same bus stop where everything had changed, where an old man's words had sparked his awakening. This time, he wasn't sitting there in defeat. He stood tall, calm, and confident, looking up at the sky that once felt so heavy. He thought about the man he used to be, hopeless, afraid, ready to give up. And then he thought about the man he had become, stronger, wiser, unshakable. The storms that once tried to drown him had become the reason he learned to swim. Arjun's life wasn't perfect. He still faced challenges, long nights, and new problems. But now, he didn't see them as punishments, he saw them as preparation. He realized something powerful. Life doesn't break you to destroy you. It breaks you to rebuild you stronger. He opened his laptop and looked at the messages from people he'd helped, small businesses growing, clients thanking him, families earning better incomes because of his work. A tear rolled down his cheek. This was what every sleepless night had been for. To anyone watching this, remember Arjun's story. You might be in your lowest moment right now. You might feel like everything is against you. But that's when you must hold on the tightest, because your story is still being written. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars. The heaviest storms grow the strongest roots. And the moment you choose not to give up, that's when your comeback begins. So, when everything is against you, smile. Because that's when life is secretly building the strongest version of you.